Well, hello, everyone. Good evening to you. This is Dave. I'm the founder of the Infinity Lifestyle Design Program, and welcome to a new broadcast I'm starting. It's Thursdays, and it's about post career lifestyle questions and the questions that you want to ask related to either heading into retirement, what kind of lifestyle planning do you need to do heading into retirement, and what does it involve? So please, if you can right now, if you joining us, tell us where you're viewing from. Let us know in the comments what area you're from, and time of day too, because I'm always interested in what time it is for people and where they are at in their part of the world. So again, thank you for joining me. Again, tell you who I am. I'm Dave. I'm founder of the Infinity Lifestyle Design Program, where I help business professionals craft and develop a post-career lifestyle strategy that brings fulfillment, meaning, and joy. I do that through a series of workshops that I offer. So please, if you're looking for the opportunity, feel free to reach out. But tonight is all about us wondering and asking those questions. What does it mean to go ahead and plan for a post-career life? And obviously for me, I'm really interested to hear what type of questions or comments you might have. So join in, ask a question. You can comment directly, whether it's on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, or obviously LinkedIn's my biggest question or biggest audience here. So Dina, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate that, from Los Angeles. Thank you. You've joined some of my other audio events before, so I appreciate that. And Meredith, thank you. Thanks for joining as well from Boston. I appreciate that. I'm glad the two of you have joined us here for this particular event. So the idea, again, for today is to join in and ask a question as it relates to a post-career lifestyle strategy. Now, I've got questions ready to go from people who have asked me outside of this, but obviously would love to get your feedback or comments or things that you might need to get clarification on in what it is to plan a post-career lifestyle strategy. So again, tell us where you're viewing from. We'd love to hear that. Thank you, Rick, from RTP. So you're going to have to tell me where that's at, or what that acronym means. So come back again if I'm missing that. But thank you so much for joining us. So really what I want to do is, first of all, ask a basic question, if you'd like to share. So how many years are you away from retirement? So years, months, provide that for me as well. And if you don't want to retire and that's not part of what you want to do, then go ahead and do that as well. And welcome, Chris. Thank you so much from Chicago. Appreciate you joining today too as well. Thank you very much. And so we're just asking the question, how long it is until you choose to retire. So I've got a LinkedIn user who says that they can't hear me. So if I can ask some of the others, either Meredith or Chris or Dina, if you all can tell me if you can hear me or not. So, okay, Dina, you said you're 8 years out from retirement, maybe? Okay, so that's a while. It's never, you're in the right time frame for this. And then Meredith, you said you had no retirement timeline. Okay, great. That's okay as well. And Dina, thank you for telling me you can hear me. So the LinkedIn user who said you can't hear me, you may want to check your settings on your computer as well, and just make sure that your computer settings either on LinkedIn itself or your general computer settings are set so that you can hear me. Great. So I'm glad you all can hear me. All right. So there is no right or wrong answer as it relates to a particular timeline. The idea is to not wait to the last minute to plan. So as you look and think about what post-career life might be like, that can begin as early as in your 40s or sooner, because ultimately what a retirement or post-career life should be about is life flexibility. Well, if you can integrate that life flexibility before you officially retire, that helps set up your retirement for even more excitement and joy and contentment. Before we get into the variety of questions, I did want to tell you that if you'd like to sign up, I do a weekly newsletter that focuses on post-career life activities. You can do that at infinitylifestyle.com/blog. This is also in the show comments and the show notes. So feel free to look for that as well. And then the second thing is, if you'd like to take a complimentary lifestyle quiz. Now, this lifestyle quiz helps you establish some benchmarks and guidelines as you think about heading into post-career life or starting a post-career life plan. So you can just get that at infinitylifestyledesign.com/RCA. Again, it's in the show notes and in the comments. So thank you very much for that as I do a little bit of promotion there. I'm going to lead with a question first. And this is something that I get a lot of questions asked of me is, what's the difference between just retirement and a post-career lifestyle? Or what's the difference between a retirement lifestyle and a post-career lifestyle? So as I explain this, get your questions teed up, please, and put those in there so we can answer them for you. But the difference between a retirement and a post-career lifestyle really ties back to tradition. So if you live in the United States, a retirement timeframe or retirement approach starts when you complete your education and you head out into the workforce. And as you head out into the workforce, you then, if you're diligent, start to save or allocate funds into a retirement or pension plan, IRA, whatever portfolio that you have. You go ahead and you begin to reserve funds off to the side that accumulate and grow, hopefully over decades, so that at some point you reach critical mass, that you're then able to have a choice to leave the workforce and have enough resources available for you to be able to live a post-career life without working, or a retirement life. Another element, for those of us in the United States, is as we begin to enter the workforce, a portion of our wages are garnished and they're put into the Social Security Trust Fund, for which we can draw on at either age 62 or 67. And so that also plays into it, but that's meant to be a supplemental income. And I could go into the whole dynamics of Social Security, which we won't do that tonight. But that's the traditional retirement trajectory. You save funds as you accumulate income in your career, set aside so that at some point you decide to leave the workforce and have enough resources to continue onward from that. Now, what's a post-career lifestyle? Well, those two are, in essence, it starts out very much like a retirement lifestyle. The idea you want to do is to do some type of savings as it relates to your post-career life. The difference is that you establish personal goals and personal purpose before you choose to leave a career, so that as you head into post-career life, you have a variety of options open for you for flexibility. That might mean work or not work in retirement. That's okay. A post-career life can involve work. It can involve deep work. It can involve you continuing your career much the same as it was beforehand. But in a post-career life, you're bringing everything together. You're challenging all the assumptions of how you live your life today. Do I want to work how I'm working today? Do I need to manage my time differently than what I'm doing today? Do I need to look at retirement differently and see how I feel about that and integrate that into my life? What is my financial mindset? Do I believe what I have? And am I using the resources that I have to match the lifestyle strategy that I want to live? Then there's an anticipated lifestyle. What am I doing to hang on to a social, robust network that I can be engaged with people in how I want to be engaged with? And then ultimately, what are going to be my planned activities? How much of it's personal? How much of it's professional? And how do I manage all of that to be able to maintain the flexibility so I'm able to accomplish the goals that I want? So, bottom line, retirement's a traditional trajectory in which it's a hard stop where you decide to stop working and move into a post career or retirement life where you're not working and you're doing all kinds of personal activity. Where a post career lifestyle is where you work at developing a strategy to decide how you want to manage that new flexibility that could involve work or not work. So that's the difference between the two. And to the LinkedIn user, you're retrying and not retiring. I like that. If you can, give me a little bit of more information in the comments if you'd like to share, because I'd like to have the rest of the group see that. Chester, thank you for joining from Texas. I appreciate that. So what I'm looking for is, what kind of questions do you have either about retirement or post-career life, and what can I clarify for you? So again, the difference between that is retirement's a hard stop. It's a traditional way in the United States where we typically stop working in our 60s and we head off into a life that's all related to personal. Whereas post-career life is a strategy that brings the two together. So again, please looking for some questions that you might have related around post-career life, or even how do you get to the financial aspects of that. So please provide your information there. So that's the difference between a post-career life and a retirement lifestyle. So I'm going to ask a question here to say, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being I haven't done any lifestyle planning at all. I don't know what life's going to be like if I choose to leave work, to 5, I've got it all figured out. I know exactly what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. So put in the comments where you're at in that range. I'm 1, I haven't done any planning at all, to 5, I got a great idea of what I'm going to do. So I'd be interested to see what your feedback is relative to that. All right, I don't see any questions yet, so let me lead with another question. And it says, if you do not want to retire, tell me why in the comments as well. I have had a lot of people this week tell me they don't want to retire, and they're almost militant about it. See, I don't want to retire. And usually around that time frame or that opportunity, people are fearful of what it is they're going to do in retirement. So they cling to the idea of working as a way to bring them value and purpose. And again, that's fine. If that's going to bring that to you, I'm going to, in my retirement life, this what I do here is part of what brings me purpose, to help others. So it's really important that you define why you want to work in retirement if you say you're never going to retire, because many people do not think about what to do outside of work. All right, so I've gotten some results back from the thing that I asked. So LinkedIn user, you said you're at a 2 out of 5. So you've thought about it a little bit, but probably could do some more planning. Meredith, you're at a 2.5. So you're about halfway there, but that makes sense from your earlier comment where you haven't really established a timeline yet. So that makes sense. And Chris, you're at a 2. All right, so most people are on the haven't done a whole lot of planning on that. I would say as long as retirement's not coming in the next month or so, that's okay. If you are really close to retirement, though, that's something that you need to get on that. So I usually try to work with people who are around 5 years or less in retirement. You might think, wow, 5 years? Why do I have to plan out 5 years? The idea is for you to begin to think about a mindset and to bring in this idea of envisioning what a post career life is going to be like so that you can develop a strategy knowing it's probably going to change in the 5 years up until the time frame that you want to do and you want to retire. But in many cases, what I find when I work with clients is that as they develop this lifestyle strategy, they're like, ooh, I really would like to do this element sooner than retiring. Then I begin to challenge them to say, why wait? If you think you can start to begin to do some of your personal elements now or find a way to have the flexibility to do it, it becomes an eye-opening experience for you because you get to be able to start to live some of the things you want to do in post-career life today. And that can be extremely satisfying because then that allows you to open up even more interesting and exciting things that you can do in a post-career life. So again, if you don't want to retire, tell me why in the comments. And if you do want to retire, tell me what's your biggest motivation for wanting to retire. So again, please put that in the comments. And again, looking for any questions you might have relating to a post-career life. So having said that, let me ask another question I'm asked frequently is, what if I do not have the finances? How do I then plan a post-career life? Now, I know that Dina's you've participated with me in quite a few of these. You probably heard this before. Let me put the disclaimer out there. I am not a financial professional. I don't want to manage your portfolio. This isn't some stealth presentation for me to pitch for me to manage your portfolio. I totally encourage you to please find, if you don't have already, a certified financial professional who you can work with to help you understand what you need and the resources you need relative to a post-career life. In the United States, statistically, not a lot of people are where they need to be, given their age group, in accumulating enough resources relative to post-career life. If that's you, don't worry, because you can still reach a level of flexibility, even if you might not, quote, officially retire, but you still have a mindset that says, I want to be post-career. I don't want to have to invest all of my major time and energy related to a work or career. So if you don't have the finances, first and foremost, seek that professional help. I do have some recommendations, so if you'd like to direct message me or email me, feel free to do that. I have my email in the show notes, and you can email me. I've got a couple of resources that approach post-career or retirement financial planning a little bit differently with each, so I'd be happy to provide those with you if you need to. If you have a financial advisor, many financial advisors are extremely busy. They have a lot of clients that they manage. Their first and main number one priority is to grow your portfolio based upon the guidelines that you both agree on. And you want them to do that. You want them to be able to understand where your finances are at, and maybe you want them to help you reach particular milestones. But a good financial advisor and planner helps you works together with you and should be realistic with you. Meaning, if you don't have the resources to retire, they need to be able to tell you that. So you want someone who's going to be truthful, and direct with you and really give you a realistic view. So if you're saying, gosh, I don't have many resources, and so I just don't think it's worth it to go to a financial advisor. Now, some firms have limits, meaning you have to be at a certain level before they talk to you, but many of the larger firms do not. So their idea is you can go with some of the larger firms and they'll help you start where you're at and help you understand. So you immediately with a financial advisor is want to establish a cadence and a guidance where they can help you grow your financial portfolio based upon the risk that you're comfortable with in a way that you get a return that starts to accumulate. Then they will have the necessary forecasting tools to help you understand how you contribute, how it might grow, to then get to a certain level to help you understand, and they can define for you an estimated time frame for when it's best for you to retire. Now, again, if you have very little resources related to that, post-career life might involve work for a long time into post-career life. But that's okay, because again, the difference for me between retirement and post-career life is post-career life, you design and seek maximum flexibility for you. And if that has to involve some form of work, then you design the personal life to around that to give you as much satisfaction and joy because you're planning the personal element. So get your financial advisor, get your financial house in order, help them understand and have them help you understand what you need to reach a certain threshold. Now, I might be saying, I just don't know how to do that, Dave. Well, one of the first things, even before you might see a financial advisor, is develop a budget and develop a bare bones budget. And that takes time. So you lay out and say, what are my current, do I have a mortgage? Do I have any outlying car payments, any outlying debts? You understand that. You tie back to any other expenses that you have. So you develop your expenses. And then you challenge yourself to say, how much do I really need in retirement to tie back to these expenses? Now, you can go the beans and rice route. Like, I'm going to be very frugal because I want to get to retirement. I'm going to live a very frugal lifestyle. And if you can get to that and understand that, great. I usually counsel people when I work with on our program through the budgeting thing is that you do a normal budget, one that fits a comfortable lifestyle that you want to do. And then you do the frugal budget so you can understand both elements. The reason why I ask you to do that budget, at least one of those budgets, is you want to bring that clarity to your financial advisor. You need to push and challenge most financial advisors. Again, their main purpose and focus is to grow your portfolio. That's how they make their income. That's how they satisfy their clients. But at the same time, you need to push to educate them, to help them understand what's important to you in retirement. And if you're in front of a good financial advisor, they're going to love that because they get greater clarity on what's important to you. If you have a financial advisor that stiff arms you a little bit and says, I'm not really that concerned about that, you need to think about that relationship because they should want to know you personally, because the more they get to know you personally, the better they get to understand that portfolio. The better they can know you is by coming into them with an already desired lifestyle strategy that you can articulate to them. So again, if they're good, they'll be realistic with you. So again, if you don't have enough finances, don't stop. Find the right professional advice, get laid in with that, then develop that budget and go in with that budget and say, help me achieve this. They'll be able to tell you whether that's realistic or not, or how you need to adjust it. Stephanie, thank you so much for joining. She says, I may be an extreme planner, I'm hoping to retire in 7 to 12 years. I love the fact that you're an extreme planner. I think everyone should be an extreme planner. And what I mean by that is you need to invest that time as you grow your investment portfolio to invest time in that post-career lifestyle that matches back to that. So hoping to retire in 7 to 12 years, it's great that you're thinking about that now, Stephanie, because it gets you in the right mindset. So again, what if I don't have the finances? It's okay. Just seek the right professional help. And again, if you're looking for a couple of options, one I know is a financial advisor with a large institution. The other I know is more specialized. But if you're interested, you can email me or direct message me that information, and I'll be happy to share you the two resources. So don't fret if you haven't planned your post-career life. So again, any questions, please put them out there. And if you need more clarification on what the difference is on traditional retirement and post-career life, please let me know. So, and again, Stephanie, if you haven't done it yet, on a scale of 1 to 5, how well do you have your retirement lifestyle plan? I know you're 7 to 12 out, so it might be a little bit lower on that. So again, if you're interested and want to set a foundation for what your retirement mindset is like, why not take the complimentary lifestyle quiz? It's here at Infinity Lifestyle Design /RTA. I'll send you back a complimentary summary report for you to do that. So, all right. So Stephanie, you're at a 3. Hey, that's excellent. Given the fact that you're 7 to 12 years out, something you just need to talk about and continue to push through as you go and try to figure out what a post-career life is going to be. And Stephanie also owns her own business. So that's another element that many people in retirement do. It's one of the things I did. I left a great corporate job because I had the inkling and the draw and the desire to go ahead and frame a post-career life that would involve flexibility. So I started the Infinity Lifestyle Design Program to live the experience so that I have more flexibility in a, quote, post-career life, of which I consider it I'm in right now. But I get a lot of satisfaction and enjoyment out of the fact that I want to help other people live that life of flexibility and joy. Yes, Chris, love it. Wall Street Journal article this week about people working into their 80s. What's your take on this? I actually read that article today, and a whole bunch of people were posting that on LinkedIn. So one of the things that I do in my program is I have a conversation with folks is they estimate their longevity. So they give me their current age, and then they give me the age that they're going to retire, and then they give me the age that they think their longevity is going to be. And I know I don't want to be morbid and I don't want to be a downer on this, but we all need to think about our longevity. And the average person who's taken the RTA of where I'm collecting data is thinks they're going to live well into their 80s. Now, the CDC says the average person in the United States has a life expectancy of around 77. For men, it's 73. For women, it's 79. Pretty clear women take care of themselves better than men do. Just had an argument with my wife about that today. So in that case, if you take care of yourself, you have good personal care, you have a purpose in life, you've planned out what you want to do in retirement, living into your 80s, I think, is going to be very commonplace. Because also the technology that we have today is also extending people's lives. I think the difference that can be is that if you don't have a good quality of life, meaning you're not taking care of yourself, you're not having regular checkups, you're not having something that engages you both spiritually, more than both, but that engages you spiritually, mentally, and physically, you can have a challenge that your quality of life will be less. But I think if you do all those things right, and no guarantees, obviously, we don't know if a major health incident can come up. But if you do all that, all those things, I think working into your 80s or living into your 80s is going to be more common. And so if people want to work in their 80s, and I think they had Dr. Jane Goodall, who worked, the naturist, who definitely worked with gorillas a lot. I think she was one of those who's continued to work a lot. I would say that people in their 80s who work still have a lot of flexibility. I want to believe the people that they profiled are able to weave in the things they want to accomplish personally with the professional aspect that they still keep working. So I think if you want to work until your 80s and it brings you satisfaction and value, and it's not denying you a lifestyle that you want to live, have at it. The caveat to that, though, is if you have a spouse or significant other or partner, I really encourage this planning occurs together, because if you don't, there can be a disconnect between what's important to either one of you, and there could potentially be regrets if both of you haven't done and designed personal goals around what you want to achieve together. So if you're busy there saying, I've got great satisfaction, I'm working, and your partner's saying, well, I wish you were home more, wish we could do these things together, it could lead to regret later on. So great question, Chris. Hopefully let me know if I need to add anything more to that, but that's my take on it. I'm positive to it, as long as it doesn't impede your ability to want to get your personal goals done. And many people who still want to work don't spend enough time developing their personal goals out of that. So great question. Thank you for that. All right, these things are quick, going to last about a half an hour. So let me know if there's any other questions you have out there or would like to share, in any comments in the comments area. I'll hold off here a minute or two if I don't see anything else. Then how I'm going to wrap this up, and thank you. I'm going to be doing these every Thursday, except next Thursday for us in the United States. It's Independence Day, so I'm not gonna do a live event next week. But please join me every Thursday at this time. Also, I know many of you have I've had the honor of you being a part of my LinkedIn audio sessions. This week, we're going to look at legacy and what is a post-career lifestyle legacy. Kind of goes, Chris, to your question about working in your 80s. Like, what kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? But to me, it's a personal legacy. So, and thank you for that comment. I appreciate I was able to address your question for you. So please look for that Thursday. That's at noon Eastern Daylight Time. The link for that is also in the comments. I think some of you who are here with me tonight, you're actually signed up for that too. So I look forward to, quote, seeing you there as well. Well, everybody, I appreciate you stopping on by for our LinkedIn Q&A. If there's a question that you need answered or something you want me to talk about in 2 weeks, just shoot me a direct message or email me, and I'd be happy to hold that to you. If there's something specific you want to talk about, please feel free to message me, direct me, or email me your question, and I'll be happy to do that. And take advantage of the lifestyle quiz if you haven't taken it already. It's a great opportunity for you to set a kind of an understanding of where you think opportunities are for you to focus as it relates to lifestyle planning. Thank you again for joining me, everyone. And hopefully we'll see you Thursday or on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. Have a great evening.